Hello and welcome back to the Scratch Lessons by Sydney Lunabotics. This is the third lesson in the series, following immediately after loops and costumes. Today we'll be learning about if-then statements, which are useful statements that allow a certain event to happen based on some other event. I should warn you beforehand that this will require some really basic coordinate geometry. That is, the user should be familiar with how an XY plane works. Right, so last time we left off here. We just made our cat go in little circles, like this, with a loop. We put the rotation there just for fun to show that it loops forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So let's take that away and okay, so let's take that away. And so this is what we've got. So our cat walks across the screen, and then he gets stuck at the edge. The thing doesn't stop, actually. You can see that his animation is still going, but he's getting stuck. We want him to go through the right-hand side and then get teleported back over here to continue walking, as if he lived on some sort of n-dimensional manifold that was homeomorphic to a torus. Sort of like Pac-Man. So we want him to hit this wall, come back, and then keep going. Well, what we need here is an if statement. We want to tell the computer that if the cat reaches the right wall like this, then we should bring it back over to this wall. Well, so in the control section, which we're already in, there's an if command right here. We're going to be using a forever if, because we want this to happen a bunch of times. Whoops. The if statement actually only happens once. Forever runs forever, as the name implies. So we'll be using a forever if. And we also want it to keep checking this condition. Is it at the right wall yet? Is it at the right wall yet? Is it at the right wall yet? So we want to keep checking that condition forever, really. So from the start, which we're going to be using the same block as last time, when the green flag is clicked, it'll check, is it at the right wall? And then it'll check again, is it at the right wall? So that's what we want it to do. So this structure of the forever if statement and also the if statement is very similar to the forever statement, except there's this little hexagon here, which signifies a condition. When this condition is satisfied, then the stuff inside the C will run. So in our case, when our cat reaches the right wall, that'll be in the hexagon. Then we want it to go back to the left wall. That's what'll go inside here. Okay, so how do we tell Scratch that our cat has reached the right wall? Well, this is where the coordinate geometry comes in. See this area right here that has x and y? X deals with the horizontal axis and y deals with the vertical axis. So the right wall is somewhere over here where x is 220 about. So I want to say that when x hits 220, I'm going to count that as having hit the right wall. Okay. So there's actually an equals operator, and you'll see that it's a hexagon. And other ones, like these round ones, they actually won't fit here. Scratch is smart enough to not let you do that. So we can make a statement that says when the x value of this cat's location is 220, then do whatever's in here. So let's do that. In sensing, you'll find a x position of sprite 1. That's what we're looking for. So we'll drag and drop that into the little hexagon here. So the x position of sprite 1. When that equals, well, we want it to be 220, right? Because that's where the cat is when it's somewhere over here. And I know it goes a little bit further, but we can stop it up. We can stop it here. It should be fine. So this is our condition. So when the cat walks over here, and it keeps walking, and then the number hits 220, whatever's in here will happen. Okay, so what do we want to happen? Well, we want it to magically teleport back over here. Okay, that's actually quite easy. Under the Motion tab, Scratch actually already has a command to that. It's set X to, oh whoops, you can't actually see that very well, can you? There we go. It's set X to, currently it says 0. So what we want to say is we want to set the X to minus 220, like that. This sets it along the left wall, as opposed to positive 220, which was on the right wall. Okay, so let's go over what this little snippet of code says right here. It says that when I click this green flag, this check will run. What does it check? Well, it checks, is the X position of sprite 1 220? Is it? Nope, right now it's 98. Right now it's minus 18. Sorry, that's minus 98, wasn't it? Now it's 98, positive 98 this time. And now it's 186. And then now it's 220. Okay, right when this happens, then it goes, oh, the condition is satisfied. Then I'll run this blue block inside that's inside the loop. What does that do? Set it to minus 220. And it will magically teleport. Let's have a look at what this looks like when it actually runs, because I think it'll be clearer like that. Great. That's what we want, right? We want it to, when it hits here, hits the right wall, it should immediately go to this wall and continue walking. And so now our cat will walk forever and ever and ever and ever towards the right-hand side, and will just keep appearing on the left. So this looks like one fluid motion, but we actually had to implement 2 bits of code. One that kept the cat walking, and the other makes the cat hit the wall. When the cat hits the wall, we want it to teleport over here to make it look like it hasn't really hit anything. Great. So in this lesson, we learned to use an if-then statement, which is useful in many different ways. I've showed you one way how to use it, and see if you can come up with your own ways to use it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.